Today is Sunday, and the tradition that I've imbibed, or the culture I've imbibed, is that every Sunday I would give my words of exhortation on Sunday. So it's another Sunday, so I'm coming up with my own words of exhortation. Today I'll be talking about the church, and I'll be linking the church of God with prophets. Now, God is a king, and like every other king, God has the capacity to do great things. God links up with prophets. Now, you ask yourself, what's the connection between God and prophets? For me, God is a supernatural being that is wrapped in glory. God hides. Where does God hide? God hides in glory. So you can link God with glory. You see, the presence of God is linked to glory. There is so much brightness, there's so much light, yet He hides inside light. That's it. So God hides inside light. You can call it glory, and yet He links up with people you can see. So you call the people you can see prophets. Moses was one of them. So now, when you talk about prophets, you Nigerians woke up on Sunday morning to realize that one very popular prophet is dead. His name is Prophet T.B. Joshua. Joseph, Prophet T.B. Joshua died on Saturday. That's yesterday. Now, prophet is supposed to be somebody that has the capacity to see. In the time of Moses, prophets were called seers. Now, what's happening in Nigeria today? I predicted it before. I wrote about it on the 11th of September. I called the piece, "The Church is a Disgrace to Heaven." Let me check the exact date. I wrote about it on the 11th of September 2019 by 6:52 p.m. I called it "The Church is a Disgrace to Heaven." So I analyzed what's happening in the church in Nigeria, and I looked for a summary for it. I called it "The Toxic Mixture of Christianity and Corruption in Nigeria." And what was my recommendation? Is that Jesus will visit the church, that we should be prepared. In Nigeria, the general overseer of Assemblies of God, the former general or the ex-general overseer of Assemblies of God, died. In Nigeria, the son of a general overseer died. In Nigeria, Prophet T.B. Joshua, who is supposed to be also a general overseer, he has just died. Now, why does God link up with prophets? Like I said before, God hides in glory. See, God hides inside light. The light is shining in heaven. The sight of God is linked to brightness of light, and the human eyes cannot withstand it. That's where God hides. He hides in glory. So God links up with human beings. He calls them seers. They have the capacity to foretell the future. They have the capacity to see. He gives them special gifts, special qualities. You get special gifts, you get special qualities because God loves you. A parent can love a child. He gives the child privileges. A parent can love a child. He can give the child special gifts. You don't give gifts to your enemies. You give gifts to people you love. You give gifts to people that are your friends. That's it. So, of all the prophets that came to this world, two stands out. One of them is Moses, and the other is Jesus Christ. Now, so let's talk about Jesus Christ, for instance. Jesus Christ is a prophet that is recorded in the Bible. Jesus Christ is also a prophet that was recorded in the Quran. In the Bible, his name is Jesus, while in the Quran, he goes by the name Isa. But they represent the same persons. Jesus in the Quran, Jesus in the Bible is the same as Jesus in the Quran. It's one person. So Jesus is referred to, they mention Jesus Christ 11 times in the Quran. So you can see they mention Isa 11 times in the Quran. But they give Isa a special name. They called Isa in the Quran Al-Masih. No other prophet is called that. So in the Quran, it is recorded that a Messiah is to bring peace to all. It's recorded. And that is one of the reasons most Muslims find it difficult to accept Jesus Christ as the Messiah. Because if you check the Quran preaches about peace in the uh, in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, the Quran preaches about war. So it becomes hard for Muslims to accept Jesus Christ as a Messiah. So Jesus is supposed to bring peace and blessings. Jesus is supposed to bring justice. There's one other thing I discovered in the Quran. One of them is Ad Ad Dajjal. Now Ad Dajjal refers to the Antichrist. So the Antichrist was also recorded in the Quran. They call it Ad Dajjal. Ad Dajjal. So you see, you find the Antichrist in the Bible. You also find the Antichrist in the Quran. So you see, there's a relationship. There's a connection between the two books. Now, let's go to Moses. Moses in the Bible is recorded as Moses, while Moses in the Quran was recorded as Musa. Now, today we have so many preachers. Some of them go by different kinds of names. Some call themselves prophets. Some call themselves teachers. Some call themselves evangelists. Some call themselves bishops. In fact, they assume so many nomenclatures. But Moses was one of the greatest of them all that ever lived. Why? Because of the love God had for Moses. He gave Moses some special privileges. Because of the love God had for Moses, he gave Moses some special gifts. There are some things Moses did, and he did it because God loved him. He did it because God gave him gifts and special privileges. No other prophet was recorded to have done that. One of them is Moses saw God in ways and dimensions no one ever did. Moses saw the hand of God. In the Bible, it is recorded that the fingers of God wrote the Ten Commandments. So if the finger of God wrote the Ten Commandments, what does that tell you? It tells you that Moses saw the hand of God. Moses did not just see the hand of God, he requested to see the face of God. God declined or refused to approve his request, but God showed him his back. Moses saw manna come from heaven. Manna fell from heaven to feed God's people. Moses spoke mouth to mouth with God. God called Moses his friend. And above all, God buried Moses when he died. That's what you call surprising. That's what you call a stunner. So in the Bible, it is recorded that God himself buried Moses. In Deuteronomy chapter 35, verse 5 and 6, it reads, after that Moses, the servant of Jehovah, died there in the land of Moab, just as Jehovah had said, he, God, buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, and nobody knows where his grave is down to this day. So the question now becomes, why did Jehovah God bury Moses' body? Why would Jehovah God conceal where Moses' body was buried, so that no one to this day knows where it is? The answer is because there was a dispute, there was a debate, there was a quarrel that arose over Moses' body. God or his gang was arguing with the devil. It's even recorded in the book of Jude chapter 9. It reads, but when Michael the archangel had a difference, you can say a difference could mean a debate, you can say difference could mean an argument. Jude 9 reads, but when Michael the archangel had a difference with the devil and was disputing about Moses' body, he did not dare to bring the judgment against him. He did not dare to abuse, but said, may Jehovah rebuke you. So Jehovah God ended the dispute by burying Moses' body in a location never since discovered. But still, why did Jehovah do this? It's likely that the children of Israel, they linked Moses to God that they can see. As far as the children of Israel were concerned, Moses was God that they can see, since they cannot see God. So, to prevent the Israelites from being trapped into false worship by making a shrine of Moses' grave, that's how some people are worshipped in the world today. You see some leaders, some leaders of some movements, they die. When they die, they create a shrine in honor of them. So God was not interested in a Moses cult. God was not interested in a Moses shrine. That was how he made moves to bury Moses himself. So Deuteronomy 34 verse 8 confirms this. It reads, the people of Israel wept for Moses on the desert plains of Moab for 30 days. So Jehovah God thwarted the devil's plan to take advantage of his people while they were vulnerable and mourning. Demons, they love vulnerabilities. That's the reason why I say hackers cannot be successful. The only way a hacker can be successful is if the hacker links up with vulnerabilities. Say servers, they have some openings. Say computers, they have some flaws, they have some fault lines. Hackers will capitalize on them to get in. That's exactly what God did. God thwarted the devil's plan to take advantage of his people while they were vulnerable and mourning. So that's it. So it becomes so clear that some of these links with prophets, it has a connection with God. Now, in the New Testament, the Bible records that we are a royal priesthood.